Let's go ahead and create the next two images the same way we created this one. This should give you a little bit of practice. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to left click and drag on my playhead and drag it out to about 6 seconds on my timeline. And then I'm going to end up clicking on the Image 02 Parry layer. Just one left click to select it. And then to make sure that I bring it back into view, I'm going to click on the little visibility eyeball, and that will bring it back up for me. And then from there, I'm going to go to the top left of my properties window, make a keyframe right by my opacity slider. And from there again, you'll see that it adds an opacity functionality down here on my layer. I'm going to change this opacity down to 0. Move another second up to 7. Create another keyframe. And make the value of this opacity back up to 100. Again, if you were to try to slide back and forth, it wouldn't work until you add your transition. So in order to add your transition, you would end up right clicking on the first keyframe and then select Create Transition. You'll see now that it has shown it on the timeline and that it fades from our first image to our second one. We're going to do the same exact thing for Image 03 Red. I'll end up clicking on the red layer. I'll bring it back by clicking on the visibility. And then I'm going to drag this down to about the 12-second marker. And then I'm going to do the same process. Click on the keyframe up here for opacity. Switch it down to 0. Whether it is by sliding with your mouse or just typing in the value. Going to click and drag my timeline down to 13 seconds. No need to fear. If you click and drag your playhead, it will continue to go down the timeline like so, as you can see. But for us, we're going to stop at 13. Just got to go back a little bit more. And then we're going to add one more keyframe. Make the value up to 100 for opacity. And then we're going to create our transition. Now at this point in time, if you've done everything correctly, what you can do is you can click and drag your playhead back to the very beginning of the file. And whether you want to end up playing it through the preview through the browser, you could do that by going to File, Preview in Browser. Or you can end up hitting the spacebar to watch it play. You can end up watching it play back. So there's my first image, my second image, and then last but not least, my third image. Now at the moment, if you were to play this, it's going to end up only playing until it reaches the third picture. And then after that, it's going to come to an abrupt stop. So the next step that we got to do is make sure that we end up setting the animation to loop.